I left my husband for a wealthier man, thinking I'd finally upgraded my life. Now I'm covering bruises with makeup and rehearsing excuses, trapped in a nightmare of my own making. Betrayal diaries here. I'm not going to pretend I upgraded. I downgraded my entire life and didn't even realize it until I was too deep to climb out. My name is Sienna. I'm 30 now, and if I could rewind 2 years, I would slap some sense into the version of me who thought love was something you could measure in money, status, and how good your life looked on a screen. I was married to a man named Daniel. He was 33, steady, calm, and honestly good in a way that felt almost boring at the time. He worked in logistics for a mid-sized company. Nothing flashy, no designer suits, no luxury car, but he was reliable, kind, the type who would wake up early just to make sure I didn't leave the house without breakfast. And I hated that I wasn't impressed. It sounds ugly saying it out loud, but that's the truth. I spent way too much time comparing my life to my friends. Weekend brunches turned into quiet competitions. Who had the most expensive handbag? Who was traveling abroad? Whose partner had the better job title? I started seeing my own life like it was something that needed an upgrade. Daniel didn't fit the image I had in my head anymore. That's when I met Leon. He was 38. Sharp suits, luxury car, the kind of confidence that fills a room before he even speaks. I met him at a friend's birthday dinner, and he paid for the entire table without blinking. Everyone noticed. I noticed the most. He started messaging me after that night. It felt exciting, different. He'd send me photos from business class flights, rooftop dinners, places I'd only seen online. When he talked, it sounded like the life I thought I deserved. And here's where I crossed the line. I didn't leave my husband first. I started seeing Leon while I was still married. I told myself it was harmless at first. Just talking, just dinners, just seeing what else was out there. But it wasn't harmless. It was selfish. And I knew exactly what I was doing. Daniel started noticing something was off. He'd ask if I was okay, if we were okay. And instead of being honest, I'd turn it around on him. You're overthinking. You're being insecure. I made him feel like the problem. The night everything blew up, he found messages on my phone. I still remember the way he looked at me. Not angry, not shouting, just broken. And even then, I didn't fully own what I did. I told him I needed more out of life, that I felt like I was settling. I actually said those words, settling. He didn't argue. He didn't beg. He just said, I hope you find what you think you're looking for. We divorced 3 months later, and I walked straight into the life I thought was better. At first, it felt like I'd won. Leon moved me into his apartment, not a house. An apartment that looked like something out of a magazine. Floor-to-ceiling windows, city views, everything sleek and expensive. He bought me clothes I could never afford before. Took me to restaurants where I didn't even recognize half the items on the menu. I posted everything. The trips, the dinners, the gifts. And my friends, they were impressed. For a while, I felt like I'd proven something. But little things started showing up. Leon didn't like when I went out without him. At first, it was subtle. Why do you need to go there? Who's going to be there? It sounded like concern. It felt like attention. Then it became rules. He didn't like certain friends, said they were a bad influence, said they were jealous. Slowly, I stopped seeing them. He didn't like how I dressed sometimes. Too revealing, he said. Other times, not classy enough. He'd buy me new outfits instead. I thought it was generous. It wasn't generosity. It was control. The first time he grabbed my arm, it wasn't even that hard. We were arguing about something small, and I tried to walk away. He pulled me back and said, I'm not finished talking. He apologized after. Said he was stressed. Said it wouldn't happen again. I believed him. It always starts like that, doesn't it? The second time, he shoved me. Not enough to leave a mark, just enough to scare me. Then came the yelling, the insults, the way he could switch from charming to cruel in seconds, and eventually the bruises. Now I stand in front of the mirror most mornings, covering them up with makeup, practicing explanations in my head in case anyone asks. I bumped into a door. I'm just clumsy. I barely recognize myself anymore. The worst part isn't even what he does. It's the silence I've created around myself. I pushed away the one person who truly cared about me. I ignored every red flag because I was chasing a lifestyle. I traded peace for appearances. And now I'm stuck with someone who makes me feel small, scared, and completely alone. Daniel has moved on. I heard through mutual friends that he's doing well. Got a promotion, bought a bigger place. He's seeing someone new. Someone who probably appreciates him in a way I never did. I don't blame him. I don't even think I deserve a second chance from him. But I don't know what to do now. Leaving Leon isn't as simple as packing a bag. He controls most of the finances. He knows where I go, who I talk to. Every time I even hint at needing space, his mood shifts in a way that makes my stomach drop. I'm scared of what happens if I try to leave, and I'm equally scared of what happens if I stay. So I'm here, asking strangers because I don't have anyone left to ask in real life. How do you get out of something like this when you're the one who walked into it with your eyes open? How do you rebuild a life after you've burned every bridge that actually mattered? I thought I was upgrading my life. Turns out, I was just trading love for a cage. If you've been through something like this, what would you do in my place?